Welcome to another edition of Nightcap with Scone, a show that was born out of quarantine when wasn't nobody doing nothing. So we said, let's hang out, pour something in your glass, and talk about anything y'all want to talk about. It could be sports, it could be whiskey, it could be crypto and Gamecoin. It could be sports media, radio, whatever it is that you all want to discuss. Drop a comment, hit us with a share, hit us with a smash the like there on YouTube. Tonight, one of my favorite pours. McKenna 10-year. Something that 2 years ago, Mark Calandro told me you better buy that because pretty soon it'll be $60 and you'll never be able to find it. True enough. Man knew what he was talking about. McKenna 10. So anytime I see it, I grab it, I stash it, so I never run out. All right. We are brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net, the first sports crypto with a purpose. Exciting updates about Gamecoin I can't wait to share with you. MyCleanLiving.net, NASA technology inside of their air purifiers, clinically proven to eliminate dozens of pathogens, including the virus that caused COVID-19. And my girl Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions. If you have pain, she will take you out of your pain. Book a session, restoredmotions.com. All right, y'all. Let's say some good evening, see what y'all got. Sam, hey, what's good, Sammy? Sam, what the hell's going on? Actually, don't post in the comments what the hell's going on tonight. Truax, what's good? Little Weller Special Reserve. The Green Label. Shane Duncan. Ooh, Cam Thomas is going nuts right now. Stunning how so many of us said, oh, he's a volume shooter. He'll never make it. He should come back or find his game. But the problem is, y'all don't watch the NBA. That's your problem. Too many of y'all don't watch the NBA. And it's unfortunate because the NBA is a vastly superior product to college basketball. You may love college basketball because you love your team. You're emotionally connected to your team. But the NBA is a vastly superior product to college basketball. I watch the NBA every night, bro. Josh Bergeron, Mario Collada. Y'all going to be live from Walk-Ons Friday. We are entire 104.5 ESPN lineup live for Walk-Ons on Burbank. Celebrate the dawning of a new era in LSU baseball. The Jay Johnson era gets underway. Blake Money is your Friday night starter. If you listen to old Scone, he kind of told you that, didn't he? Scone tried to tell you, little birdie whispered in my ear over the weekend that Blake Money be the Friday night guy. I shared that with you. If you're in tune, if you're a morning Sconer, if you're an AFR, if you're a LSU Daily, you were aware. You were the first to know. Gary Petrie, Jeff McKithen, got a little Juicifer. All right, man. Go with the beer tonight. Harley Doucette. What do you think about the starting rotation for the weekend? Money on Friday, Hilliard Saturday, TBD on Sunday. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but go Tigers. Well, Harley, if you weren't expecting it, it's because you weren't listening to AFR or Morning Scone or LSU Daily, because I told you that Blake Money was going to start on Friday. Apparently, he had a monster spring practice. So, good on him, man. It's one of those deals where if you got a new coach coming in and comes in with no predisposition and is letting dudes go out there and compete for jobs. And if one dude's the best, ride with him. And so Blake Money gets the first crack at it. I love it. YouTube, what's good? Nicholas Cantrell, did you finally get a new chair? I did not get a new chair, Nicholas Cantrell, unfortunately. Trivia Carter, time for a classy show. You got it. Ian Ladner, Goat Talk. Thank you, Ian Ladner. Well, I don't know if you're referring to me as the GOAT, but if you are, thank you. I'll in certain circles, maybe, but in the grand scheme of YouTube or sports talk radio or things and such, not really, but thank you. Derek Cooper, LSU and play for Arch Manning. Yes, so that's part of the title there. If you missed it, Cooper Manning, Arch's father, spoke to 247 Sports and rebutted a report that Arch was down to 2. It's long been considered. I did mention this on AFR today, so some of you might have heard it, but it's worth repeating here again for those that missed it. So it's long been assumed that Arch was going to either Texas, Alabama, or Clemson. Well, Clemson apparently eliminated, there was a report that Arch was down to 2, Texas and Bama. So Cooper said, no, he's not down to 2. If anything, the list has actually grown. And Clemson is no longer being considered. So it's Bama, Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, although I have been told in no uncertain terms that if Lane Kiffin is the coach at Ole Miss, Arch Manning will not be going to Ole Miss. Take that for what it's worth. But because of regime changes at Florida and LSU, that Arch Manning is now considering Florida and LSU. Obviously, Billy Napier, spending the time at ULL, ties to the state, knows Arch well, and Arch knows him. So there's that. And prior to that, of course, Napier was at Bama. And then LSU, of course, Brian Kelly. The other thing that's kind of odd that was told a while back, if there were 2 kind of wild card schools for Arch, not that he'd end up there, but if there were 2 wild cards, it was University of Virginia. So apparently his sister goes to Virginia. They love Charlottesville, and he's just been around it a lot, right? Although, and then, Bronco Mendenhall isn't there anymore, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But the other was Notre Dame. That he has this sort of fascination with Notre Dame. Well, of course, Brian Kelly leaves Notre Dame, comes to LSU, immediately goes and visits Arch Manning, and now LSU's in the mix. Listen, y'all, I don't think LSU is going to land Arch Manning. There's a long way to go. You got a year to go before he signs, and I don't think he's going to end up at LSU. But your hat's on the table now. Brian Kelly at least put you in the conversation. Obviously, you just signed Bo Bordelon, who's one of his offensive linemen there at Newman. You're at least in the conversation, which you weren't before, and that's a good thing. Cryptic Springer. Do you know starting Friday night? I do. It's Blake Money. Jesse Brown. Is this where all the big kids hang out? Come on, Jesse. Welcome. Come on down. Drop a comment. Let me know what you're sipping on tonight. Greg T. Watching LSU Hoops game for the first time in almost 2 months without saying a dirty word. Then you missed the first 5 minutes of the game. But, yeah, man. Georgia's a miserable basketball team. And LSU went on a big run there at the end of the first half to separate itself. They led by 16 at half. It was, 38-22. And then they kept their foot on the gas in the second half, ended up winning by 19. Exactly what you needed to do, man. So LSU now, listen, we've talked about it, but there are 2 things on the schedule that LSU had to do really to assure themselves that they're... What? What are you talking about, crazy?
Yeah.
You want to come say hi to Dad's show?
Yeah.
You want to come say hi? Well, come on. Come on, crazy.
No.
Come sit on Daddy's lap. Come say hi. Whoa, that's Daddy's whiskey. Yep, okay. Oh, okay, that's Daddy's hat. What are we doing here? You want to sit on Daddy's lap? Daddy's lap. Somebody just had a bath. Huh.
Yeah.
Can you say Hudco Roofing?
HudcoRoofing.com.
Do business with someone you know.
HudcoRoofing.com.
You heard the kid, right? If you need a roof, you call Hudco. Right?
HudcoRoofing and HudcoRoofing.com.
Oh, he nailed it. I tell you. My kid is going to nail the sponsor, especially when the sponsor is Dad's company.
Period.
And period. You want to come back and sit on Dad's lap? Nope. Okay. He gone. Gone. All right. So anyway, LSU needed to make sure they beat Georgia, and not so much because they needed to beat Georgia. They needed to avoid a loss to Georgia. A loss to Georgia would have been devastating. On your home floor to the worst team in the league, you already have a home loss to the second worst team in the league. So that's great news that they beat Georgia. It's not so much that they beat Georgia, it's that they didn't lose to Georgia. It was more important that you didn't lose than you win. The win isn't going to help you. The loss would have been devastating, put it to you that way. All right. Now, and then, look, go win at South Carolina this weekend, and then you have a massive opportunity at Kentucky next week. I mean, that's the other one. You win at Kentucky, all of a sudden you're moving up from a 6, to you're bumping up on the 4, closing on the 3 line. That's your ceiling if you can close strong. But you need the win. You need the Kentucky win. All right. Michelle Moore, what's up? Alex Dave, what's up, Matt? Got some Eagle Rare, 10-year. Okay, what do you think the starting lineup will be? Okay, I'll take a shot at it. All right, I think you'll have Blake Money pitching. You'll have McManus catching. You'll have Trey Morgan at first, Kay Doty at second, Jacob Berry at third, Jordan Thompson at short. I believe you'll have Jobert in right. You will have Dylan Cruz in center, Gavin Dugas in left, and Cade Beloso DHing. I think that's going to be your starting 9 on Friday. I'm on the record. Michael Thacker or Mikkel. Matt, what are the perks for assistants? I know the head coach gets cars, houses. What do you mean perks? Like in football? I don't know that they have much of that. They may get a car allowance. I mean, they get apparel and stuff like that, but it's not really the same. Landon Miller, LSU Sway, Brian Russell. What's up, Matt? Tigers look good tonight. Disappointed in the Carmichael news, though, not feeling it. So, it's interesting. So if you missed it, Rappaport tweeted that Pete Carmichael will, in fact, be retained as offensive coordinator. I'm okay with it. Listen, I would have preferred, who was that again? Brian, I would have preferred if they had been able to land a big name. Bieniemy would have been awesome. But here's the thing. When they hired Dennis Allen, it was with the impression that he is going to maintain the culture, right? Stability, culture, all that stuff that you built. And you had that. And the more turnover, the less it resembles what it was. And so now you're more trusting Dennis Allen instead of Dennis Allen being the gatekeeper for what had been built. You're trusting Dennis Allen to build his own thing, which he's never done, and that's concerning. So I don't hate the idea of keeping Carmichael. He's been around. He knows your personnel. He knows your division. He's called plays before. I don't hate that. I don't hate keeping Carmichael as OC. I don't hate it at all, especially if you did a thorough search and you decided there wasn't someone better worth bringing in. Dustin Blanchard, Jordan B., what's up? Joseph Armato. I don't think Arch is coming to LSU either. I would love it if he did. I agree. It would be fantastic if he did. And I don't think it's going to happen. But again, at least you have a hat at the table. Evan Landry. Matt, were you at the 2021 Louisiana Hall of Fame? So they had 2, right? Because they had to make up for 2020. I was at the one in the summer when Kent Lowe was inducted. That's when I saw Will Wade there. Tim Brando. I'm trying to remember who else was in the athletes in that class. Phil Robertson was there. My Do Not Disturb just turned off. That's weird. Anyway, so I went to that one. The second one I could not make. Roy Henry. Matt, how was Frisco? Did you see anyone shit in the streets? No, Roy, I didn't see anyone shit in the streets. There was a lot of, when we left, a lot of people were like, oh man, be careful. Homeless population is out of control, this and that. I didn't think it was any worse than New Orleans or Houston or any other big city that I've been to in that respect. And I'm going to tell y'all, the weather in the Bay was fucking incredible. I mean, they said they had a heat wave. You probably, if you're listening to Super Bowl coverage, they talked about it a lot, how California had a heat wave. Well, in SoCal, it meant mid-80s, right? Well, in Northern California, it meant 70. So we were at like 68 to 71 degrees every day for the high and the low in like the low mid-50s. I mean, it was magnificent, gorgeous, sun-kissed, clear, no fog or smog or haze or any of that shit. I mean, it was just crystal clear and gorgeous the whole time we were there. My God, it was beautiful. Beautiful. Raymond, all right, Little Weller Antique, okay. Eric Wilderrotter, would you rather be an 11 seed instead of a 7, 8, or 9? No. Either way, well, see, if you're an 11, your first round matchup obviously is tougher. You're drawing a 6, which would be winnable, tough but winnable. And either way, I think your second round matchup is not favorable. So What I'd rather is go the other way, Eric. I'd rather end up, and I think LSU. I believe LSU is going to end up on the 5 line. I think my experience in covering this for as long as I have is that fans tend to overvalue their team by at least a line, and they're at a 6 right now. I think they'll beat South Carolina. They got some more wins. I think we're going to look and go, oh, yeah, it can be a 4. And I think they're going to settle on the 5 line. I think that's where LSU is going to be, and they're going to end up in one of those 5-12 matchups. But get past it, win your second game, and play into the second weekend. Hope you get a good draw. USMC Mike 1, what happens to Walker Howard if Manning signs? I don't think Walker Howard's leaving ever. My impressions talking to Jamie, Jamie Howard told me point blank and said on air that they're fine if Walker redshirts this year. They want him to redshirt. I mean, Jamie had the experience of being a major college football quarterback that played early in his career, had some struggles, and it affected him, and fans were awful, and he doesn't want his son to go through that too. So if you're a young quarterback playing, you're going to have some struggles. So I think it's one of those deals where Walker's coming in patient. And the other thing Jamie told me too, and he said this on air, he said, listen, if Walker never plays it down at LSU, and it was interesting because Jamie doesn't gloat, he doesn't brag on his kids, he doesn't build, you know what I mean? Like, he's proud of them, but he's not that dad, right? But he did say this. He said, if Walker never plays, and this is more just from a football perspective, like if Walker never plays it down at LSU, the team is still going to be better because he's on the team. Like, he's that kind of kid, that kind of leader and stuff. And I think that's the kind of guy you need, I think they're going to be great with him. I really do. Let's see. Duck Hunter 97. Saints keeping Carmichael is a big mistake. Maybe. I don't know that I necessarily agree. Maybe. But, I mean, he has been Sean Payton's sidecar for 15 years, man. And he has called plays before. That's the thing a lot of y'all forget. Toby Tomplay. Mr. Toby Tomplay. A 70-degree heat wave. I know. Raymond, let's see, Matt, good win tonight. Think we can go 2-1 in the Bama, Kentucky, Arkansas games. Run the table on the rest, if so, 4 seed. Depends how it looks, right? Who the 2 and 1 of those 3 are. Let's see, you're 7-6 right now in the league. And overall you are 19-7. So if you beat South Carolina, you get to 20 wins. Let's say you lose at Kentucky, which would be disappointing, but you manage to beat Missouri, put you at 21. Then you got at Arkansas, home against Bama. Boy, if you could win those 2, that would be massive. That would put you at 23 wins going into the SEC tournament. Win a game there. Yeah, I think you end up on the 4 line. I do. Because your net's going to end up top 10 if that happens. Brian Hill, Matt, I agree with the Pete Carmichael hire simply because the issue this past season wasn't play calling, just nobody make the plays. Exactly. You get a healthy Jameis Winston, healthy Michael Thomas, provided you re-sign Jameis. But you get a healthy Michael Thomas. Obviously, you need to figure out what's going to happen with Kamara because you're going to miss him for 6 games, at least. And then get some more help on the outside. And look at Jabari. Old Jabari Smith. Sucks seeing him wearing Auburn colors, but what it is. Facebook, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. 156 watching, 11, only 44 likes though. Smash that like button. Aaron Hornsby. Let's see, Matt, do you think the Bengals will make a real effort to build the line? They have to, absolutely. I mean, they will. They have to rebuild that line. They have money to spend. Let's see. The Bengals have Bengals, here it is. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. The Bengals have $48 million in cap space. That's before they make any moves. They have $48 million to spend. Will they spend it? If they do, then they will, yes, they will go sign a starting offensive lineman or 2. They will draft offensive linemen. They have to. It's that, and it's outside cornerback. They've got to address that. Shane Duncan, what's good? Aaron Hornsby, Brady Beak, and Matt going to Orange Beach on 226 to 3-2. Gulf Shores. Very good, Brady. Enjoy that beach. The beach during the downtime is actually pretty fun. When it's not super busy, you can get into any restaurant. It's peaceful. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Bruno Van Moore, Jason Austin, what's good? There is the star. By the way, today, the 7-year anniversary of Drew's discharge from Texas Children's Hospital. So we were at, how about this story? We were at Texas Children's. Drew was in the hospital for 213 days. And he was discharged on February the 16th. And the reason that is significant is, so Drew's name is Drew Benjamin Moscona. His middle name, Benjamin, is after my buddy, Ben, who died before Drew was born. And we thought that was a great way to honor him. And February 16th is Ben's birthday. So Drew was discharged on Ben's birthday. Pretty cool story, man. I mean, it was, when I think back to it, over the course of 213 days, there's a million things that could have happened that either speed up or delay that discharge date. Sometimes God has a way of showing himself to you, man, to all of us. And that was certainly one of them. Christopher Merrill, what's up, man? Stephen Fry, Aaron Morris. Is Arch a big jump over Howard? I don't know that. Aaron, Arch is bigger, for sure. The bigger prospect, no doubt. See how it plays out, you know. The reality is that doesn't matter. You can never have too many quarterbacks. And, you know, look at Bama. Look at Georgia. Just keep reeling in 5 stars at that position. You never want to drop off. So get them. If you can get them. I don't think you approach a signing class fearful that someone might leave. Go get the best players. Aaron Hornsby, Craig Pullman, Ray Wright. What's up, Ray Wright? All right, Christopher Mail, be honest. Can our healthy 6 make a run in the dance Sweet 16? Yeah. Bro, they beat Kentucky. They beat Tennessee by double digits. Hell yeah, they can. It's the tournament. So George Mason is an 11 seed maker. We saw Loyola of Chicago go to the Final Four. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Can make a run. They're the number 1 defensive efficiency team in the country. Hell yeah. Can make a run. Come on, dog. Ed Reeder, make roofs great again, Hudco Roofing. Hell yeah, Ed. Appreciate that. By the way, in honor of that, Ed, let's do this.
Someone you know, Scone, Ontario. All you need is Hudco. Call Hudco Roofing. 364-1007.
Ooh. Almost forgot. Got to remind y'all of this. The Hudco Hometown Heroes program. This is our NIL program. We are actually, like, every day having student athletes reach out to us saying, hey, can you just make me a Hudco Hometown Hero? Like, they get the program. If you're not familiar with what we're doing with the Hudco Hometown Heroes, quick feel like this is what we're doing at Hudco for NIL. We're obviously not a big enough company just like to stroke checks to athletes left and right, okay? So here's what we are going to do. For every roof job we get, for every roof we do, we will commit a portion of the net to an NIL deal with the athlete of the homeowner's choosing. So athletes, neighbor, friend, family member, aunt, uncle, mom, dad, whatever, needs a roof, call Hudco, tell us to do a deal with that athlete, boom, Hudco Hometown Hero will get paid. They'll have to post, for us. There has to be a deliverable and all that stuff to be on the up and up. But I got the link. If you want to learn more, I got the link pinned there in the comments. Let's see. Smash that like button, y'all, if you're on Facebook. We appreciate that. Chance Babin. Did you see the end of the South Carolina Ole Miss game? I did. Half court from win. If you listen to AFR, talked about it on Around the SEC. I know you can't listen to 3 hours a day every day, but I did, yes. But two bad teams. Chris Allen, Scotty Young, Mark Vatanovich, what's good? Clayton Knight, what's up? Cisco, Arch Manning will not go to LSU. I agree with you. Cisco. But they have a shot, right? They at least have a shot now. And I could make the case, listen, I can make the case that if you could negative recruit Bama and say, look, Saban may not be there another 5 years. I could look at this year at Texas. If Sark has another bad year, is that really a desirable place? I mean, all of a sudden LSU looks better and better and better, right? Cisco Bay Area rep. And I know Cisco's our resident Bay Area guy. I appreciate it, man. You see, Cisco's actually a 49er fan from the Bay Area, unlike some of you posers. You know who you are. Brandon DeVille, what do you think? What do you think the Saints do at quarterback? I think they re-sign Jameis. I do. I think the biggest issue they'll have, though, look at Jabari draining threes. How did we not get that guy? Anyway. I think the biggest question, though, is if someone, a quarterback-needy team, steps in and overpays, which could happen. I mean, you ain't winning in the NFL if you don't have a quarterback. And I think Jameis has shown the NFL something we've talked about a lot here, which is that he has sort of rehabilitated his image and that he can be a team guy and he is mature and he works hard. And hey, babe.
Hey. I'm sitting over here. Just gave him a rock.
I don't know, Eric. So that's my concern, Brandon, is if someone overpays for Jameis, that leaves you with really no other option but to go get a quarterback in the draft. Let's see. Chris Hoffman, do the Saints go after Pickett or GameCoin athlete Matt Corral? God, please let me Matt Corral. Ugh. If it's Matt Corral, I mean, y'all don't even understand. People ask me all the time, you're talking about the GameCoin athletes. Here's something that I'd love to stress, to underscore, to make sure that you understand. So when we do deals with GameCoin athletes, not only are they ambassador athletes that are sort of repping our brand and stuff like that, but when the GameCoin platform is built, that means these athletes will have both a fan token and their NFTs on the GameCoin platform. And oh, by the way, to buy fan tokens or NFTs on the GameCoin platform, you have to buy it with GameCoin. So naturally, that is going to cause more buys of GameCoin and the price to go up. So yes, doing these deals are massively significant. So if Matt Corral becomes a first-round draft pick and he's putting his NFT and fan token on the GameCoin platform, it's huge for GameCoin. When we signed the entire LSU basketball team, and part of that is Tari Eason, who the latest mock draft from USA Today has him as the 10th overall pick to the Knicks. Imagine if a top 10 pick for the Knicks is a GameCoin athlete and his fan token and his NFTs are on the GameCoin platform, then every fan in New York of the Knicks who wants Tari Eason stuff is going to GameCoin to get it. Y'all just got to be patient, dog. I'm telling you. Everybody's like, why isn't GameCoin worth $1 bajillion? Because it's like 8 months old. But the idea is incredible. Sarah Technologies, developer out of San Diego, fucking awesome. Jeff, who's building the wire, I won't mention his last name, I don't know if he wants me to, who's building the wireframe, which is like what the website will actually, the platform will actually look like. Sarah Tech is building the smart contracts. Jeff is building the wireframe. We get updates on it every Tuesday. It looks awesome. And I don't know if I can disclose this too, but David Mailer had a meeting today with a metaverse company about a possible collab with GameCoin, which is really exciting. I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all. Yup, I get it. Everybody looks at the pros, go, man, GameCoin, blah. All right. Y'all, you don't know crypto, but People always say, I want to see a dip so I can buy a dip. Well, you got an opportunity right now. Guess what? You got an incredible opportunity right now to buy the dip. Where you at? Incredible opportunity. Like the opportunity that existed in July when people were dumping in, like we're jumping in July at low prices. You know, all the people that ran and cashed out, those idiots that in a year, 2 years, 3 years are going to go, oh man, I mean, I bought a car, but if I just held, man, I'd bought a house, or 2 houses. Anyway, I'm telling y'all, say what you want, but just clip this and remember, it's like electricity. Imagine the first time you saw the light bulb. You may not be able to explain the electricity, but you look at it and you go, wait a minute. All I gotta do is flip that switch and this whole room lights up? Oh, fuck, everybody's gonna do that. That's the first time I saw Gamecoin. It's gonna happen. Patient. AJ Holland. Gamecoin update from the board meeting. Let's get this thing back up in the pennies. Oh, it's coming, AJ. It's coming. Jason Austin, Zachary Schwarzer. Good evening, Matt. Happy anniversary to Drew. My dad and I snagged a couple of Weller 12s at retail. Where, Zachary? Message me. Be my friend. Would you please help? If anybody is curious, and maybe none of you are, but my single favorite attainable whiskey, that's very hard, but attainable, is Weller 12. The thing I love more than anything. There's been times I can blind taste Weller 12 and Lot B, the Pappy Lot B, or Van Winkle Lot B, and I know what I'm drinking. And there's times I prefer Weller 12. Give it time though, Zachary. Pour it. Really give it time to open up though. Okay. Take a sip and then like set it down for about 10 minutes, and then come back to it. Stephen Fry, hints on what the Gamecoin NFTs will look like. So it depends. Different levels, right? You'll have like gold and platinum and noir, and anyway, not that dissimilar from like a sports card, but the particulars are being worked out right now. Let's see. Brian Leach, awesome story about Drew and your buddy. Pretty excited for the start of baseball season. So thank you, man. But Brian, yes, baseball. I'm pumped. I love baseball. I've always been a gigantic baseball fan. I love the game. I love the nuance of the game. I love LSU baseball. I am very, very, very excited, and I think this team is going to mash the baseball. They have a great opportunity, but a big question mark as well with the pitching staff, because you got a lot of arms, but you don't have a lot of proven guys in the starting role. So you got to have guys step up, and you need to figure out how you're going to make that work. But y'all, Jay Johnson is a brilliant guy, man. I'm telling you, he's got like Saban, Billy Napier, those type of vibes to him. I think he's going to be awesome, dude. I really think he's going to be awesome. Let's see, Jason Austin. You're about to be a 49er fan. Wants to get a picture of you wearing that Rice jersey. I mean, I've told you I'm in. I mean, lost a bet. I'm good to pay. I messaged you. You never messaged me back. And I'll take the picture, and then I'll get it off, and I'll wipe my ass with it or burn it. Chance Babin, with salary cap issues, which veterans will the Saints lose? So, honestly, Chance, it's like they kind of did that last year. So I know everyone looks at the salary cap, and the Saints are 70, according to Spotrac, they are $76 million over the cap. So they got a lot of work to do, absolutely. But keep in mind also that a big reason last year they had the issues they did were the cap actually reduced. It reduced because of COVID and revenues went down. So I don't know that you're necessarily going to lose a ton of guys. I think You did that last year, when you lost Emmanuel Sanders, when you lost Malcolm Brown, when you had to let Sheldon Rankins walk, when you couldn't re-sign Trey Hendrickson. I mean, that's really when you lost the guys. This is a workable number where you restructure deals for the cap. I don't think you're going to lose a bunch of guys this year. Chris Hoffman, what's up? Josh Bergeron. Matt, can someone explain how LSU missed on Jabari Smith? No, they recruited him, Josh. I don't know how. I mean, I guess Auburn paid him more. I don't know. I mean, let's be real. Everybody's paying players, even pre-NIL. I mean, I do want to remind you that your head basketball coach is on a federal wiretap talking about a strong-ass offer. So let's not have any misgivings about this, okay? But, I mean, Bruce Pearl is the same, so I don't know. Hey, Dad. Good evening. Aaron Hornsby, what's up? National championship, maybe. Let's see. Do you think Blake Money was just that impressive, or is it lack of experience, talent with other pitchers? No, Jason, listen, if it was experience, Mikhail Hilliard's got experience. Devin Fontenot's pitched a ton over his career. Trent Vittmeyer's pitched a ton over his career. I mean, you had guys that started last year. Javen Coleman started last year. Ty Floyd started last year. Will Helmers, Garrett Edwards. I mean, you had guys that started. It's legitimately where Money he's commanded 3 pitches. Velo's always been really good on his fastball. When you talk about a guy that came in and committed himself, cut the hair, lost 35 pounds, you got his body in shape, I think it's just he's committed himself to being that guy. And he's got the talent, so go do it. Giving him an opportunity, go do it. All right, smash that like button. 164 watching on YouTube. Love it. Only 73 likes. Can we smash that like button? Reminder about Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net. The D-app portion of the website is now up, so you can connect your Trust wallet, or whatever wallet, directly to the Gamecoin website now and swap instantly Gamecoin. We've removed like 15 steps. So much easier now. Check it out, thegamecoin.net, thegamecoin.net. MyCleanLiving.net. Go check out mycleanliving.net if you haven't done so yet. I need to mention this more. If you are leaving town for Mardi Gras and you're going to be going Disney, wherever, skiing, and you're going to be staying in a hotel, you have got to get a Fresh Air Mobile. You've got to do this before you leave. You've got to get a Fresh Air Mobile before you leave. It'll be ordered online, delivered right to your door. Plug it up into your hotel room. When Eric and I went, I took my Fresh Air Mobile, the one that's on the set with me every day on AFR, took it, first thing we got in there, plugged it in the hotel room. It purifies the air and surfaces, basically neutralizes any pathogen. I mean, those black light videos you see in hotels with all the bacteria and everything, what's in hotel rooms, kills all of it. MyCleanLiving.net, MyCleanLiving.net. Buy you a Fresh Air Mobile, I'm telling you. You'll thank me. Raymond, Brian Hill, Boo Daddy 1092. This is kind of game that makes the whole team feel good. Need those types of games around this time of year. I agree with you, Boo Daddy. That's a good point. It's nice to go route someone so that everything doesn't have to be a grind. I agree with you. Kyle Gallo, Parker Edwards 3 at the end was the best part of the night. Joey B19, how does Auburn come out of this off-season mess? So honestly, Joey B19, it has a lot of a Will Wade type feel to it. When Will Wade had the suspension and the reinstate, whatever, like you go one of two ways. You either rally around your guy and you're like, fuck it, he's our guy, or you fire him. And if it's fuck it, he's our guy, you line up behind him and you roll. And it kind of feels like that's what Auburn's doing with Brian Harsin. So I think that's okay. I'm more interested in, okay, is it TJ Finley or is it Zach Calzada? And are either of those options really good? I don't know. We did talk about this when Brian Harsin got fired. So it's like, okay, because when Finley went there, it was like, okay, well, you have Bo Nix and you have Finley. They're polar opposite stylistically. One is a tall, kind of statuesque, big arm gunslinger. The other is the runaround, athletic, risk taker type guy. And when Harsin was hired, we talked about this, but every job he had from Arkansas State and Boise, whatever, every time he took over a job, he had a mobile quarterback. And after that first year, he never had a mobile quarterback again. So I think that's what he wants. I think he wants Calzada, TJ Finley. So whatever, I think their offense this year will more likely resemble what he wants it to be. If it's good, I don't know. I mean, they've lost a lot of players, a bunch of turnover on staff. There's a lot of turnover to overcome. How did Jabari Smith end up at Auburn when his dad played for LSU? How did Peyton Manning end up at Tennessee when his dad played at Ole Miss? How did Thad Moss end up at LSU when his dad played at Marshall? I don't know. Brian Hill, 147 on the live chat. Smash that like button. Yeah, man, come on. 168, smash that like button. Appreciate y'all. Kenny Futch, I attended the LSU basketball game. Good to see him go inside a lot. You know what, too, Kenny? I really like Darius Days as a post player. Now, if he were playing the 5 for LSU, I wouldn't love that. Like last year when they had no size. He was playing the 5 out of necessity because he was the only big they had. But when you've got Eason, who obviously is a 4, but you've got Reed and Fudge, and you've got length that you can put on the block and that can be rim protectors and all stuff. I like... Now, Days is a below-the-rim player, so he'll never work in the NBA. Like, Darius Days is not an NBA player. He'll never be an NBA player. There are so few below-the-rim players in the NBA. You have to have some type of elite specialty, like Draymond Green. That's probably the best example of it. Big Baby made it for a minute in the NBA, but again, a great athlete at his size, wide, could take up space. Darius Days, he's not a good enough three-point shooter, and he's not athletic enough to defend. Imagine if Darius Days is playing the 4 against Kevin Durant or the 3 against BI. Come on. He's got no shot. But as a veteran college basketball player, he's crafty enough, knows how to use his body in the space to get buckets in the paint, even though he's 6'5". I like him down there. I like him a lot down there. Casey Levy, Matt, what's your favorite bourbon, no matter the price? Best thing I've ever had is Pappy 15. I think the Pappy 15 is the best thing I've ever had. A lot of people say the Van Winkles are all sizzle, no steak, all that sort of stuff. It's reputation. It's all that stuff. I disagree. Every time I've ever had it, it always holds up. I have the 10 and the 12 year. I think 15 is the sweet spot. Fonzarelli, what's good? Toby Tomplay, Bengal Tiger, are you laid back? With my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Roy Henry, Matt, appreciate you, sir. Seriously, Tigers odds to be in Omaha this summer. Roy, you could probably legitimately find those odds. I think the toughest part is they're probably going to have to travel for a super regional. I think the schedule is not favorable, where you have road series against Florida, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. You have back-to-back road series against Arkansas, Mississippi State, and you finish on the road at Vanderbilt. It's just not a favorable schedule. It's not to say they can't manage it and can't be a great team this year. The schedule doesn't work in their favor this year. So I don't think they're going to win the SEC. I don't think they're going to be a national seed. But I think they're going to win a ton of games, and they're going to be really, really dangerous come tournament time. Let's see. All right. Duck Hunter 97. Hope the Bengals make a run for the Honey Badger. That would be cool. Or if the Saints did. Kenny Futch, by the way. It's over. Jerry DeLucky, what's good? 4 rows of small batch. Is it small batch or is it the small batch select? If you've not had small batch select, one of my best finds this year. Best new finds. 4 rows of small batch select. Evan Landry. Thought I saw you at the Hall of Fame. Ronnie Coleman. Yes, I was there, Evan. I was there when Ronnie Coleman was inducted. Yes. Look at that. Toby Tomplay, Joe Delmonico. Got them all singing it. Toby.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone
All right. Bailey C., director of LSU Sports Property, spoke in one of my classes. Should have told him to let you do the campaign show. Yes, you should have. That would have been wonderful. Jerry, I know I've asked this before. What's the word on how far back can a roofing job go to help with NIL deals? Jerry, that's not my call. I'm happy to ask. I mean, typically it would be everything going forward, right? Like that's what we've told people. It's going forward. But we can talk to you about it. Jerry is a HUDCO roofing customer. Mason Spillman, who is over sports properties now? No, Matt Shanklin's not there anymore. It's so weird now. Like, they've been bought and sold so many times. LSU Sports Properties is... Lance Burgos is the GM. Yeah, they don't have a GSM right now. But Lance Burgos is the new guy. Toby Tumplay. I think Gamecoin needs a theme song. By the way, the beautiful Gamecoin logo here was painted by the lovely and talented Shelley Brown Tumplay, who also is the All You Need Is HUDCO voice of the HUDCO theme song and mother of Roni the Tiger. Super talented family. Think about it. Brett Dagro. What's up, Scone? Companion show this weekend for baseball. Can't do them, Brett. I guess you missed that little tidbit. LSU Sports Property Guarantee, who I work for, is the flagship for LSU, right? And they just reworked their contract with LSU Sports Properties. And one of the things that LSU SP wanted was no more companion shows. They feel like companion shows compete with their broadcast. So that's why T-Bob didn't do the companion show for football this year, and I'm not allowed to do companion shows for baseball or anything else. And I'm a little pissed about it because I'm doing it on my own personal YouTube channel. Why is LSU Sports Properties dictating what I can do on my personal YouTube channel? But when you work for someone else, sometimes you got to play ball. So I'll play ball. If the O-line blocked Aaron Donald on the Bengals last play, Joe finds a wide-open Jamar for the game-winning touchdown. Would have been poetic. Would have been really cool. Yet Jalen Ramsey was definitely falling down. There's no question there. Bummer, man. The GOAT. Let's see, Matt just started trying different whiskeys. Found I really love Elijah Craig. Four Roses, not so much. Okay. Need more suggestions closer to Elijah Craig. Okay, very good. So Elijah Craig is a little fuller, a little oakier. I think you will enjoy. Old Elk very much. Old Elk. This is the straight wheat whiskey. Just get the bourbon, but Old Elk, you will like Old Elk a lot. It's a little bit of a step up in price. Old Elk's going to be around $50. If you want to stay in, I would be very curious. Try. Try this one. Try 1792 Full Proof. I'm curious if you'll like Full Proof. You're gonna have it's gonna be hotter. Try 1792 Full Proof. I think that's an affordable one that you can find that I think you'll really enjoy. That was 12 years. That's 12, bruh. Well, that's exciting. I love giving bourbon recommendations. Oops. Okay, there we go. Got it. Let's see. Larceny similar to Elijah. Larceny is not similar to Elijah Craig. Larceny is a wheated bourbon and not similar at all. I like Larceny. It's softer and sweeter. It is not similar to Elijah Craig at all. Dustin Blanchard. And Dustin said try Woodford. I don't like Woodford. This is my own personal preference as far as taste. I think Woodford is way too oaky. I'm not a fan of Woodford. So, but you may like it, but I'm not a fan. Joel Cunningham, Kentucky's OC turned down the Saints OC. Wow. I would say be careful when you say things like turn down. You don't know when things are actually offered. Sometimes if it's not offered, it's like you remove yourself from consideration sort of thing, so as to save face if you don't get the job, whatever. Braden LaRusso, what's good, man? Good to see you there, Braden. Leonard Sarasota, why would Arch Manning go to LSU just to average 200 passing yards per game and Den Brockstell offense? Wish Kelly would have stepped out of his comfort zone on the OC hire. I'll be curious, Leonard. I think who you have as weapons also matters. You know, when you've got Kayshon Boutte and Jack Besh and Malik Neighbors and a laundry list of 4- and 5-star receivers, you take a few more chances. Franklin Zubia, what's up? Kyle Milliken. Raymond, how's the McKenna 10? McKenna 10's fantastic, one of my favorites. What did Wilder Rodder just ask? Sorry, I'm a little behind on the comments. By the way, if you're new to Nightcap with Scone, thank you for being here. I will stay here for as long as you all keep asking questions. I will stay. We've done 2-hour-long shows before, so I'm here for you. Here for you. Let's see. Like James Dean here. Picked up Angels Envy Rye. Heard y'all bring it up on Bourbon Dictionary. Had to give it a shot. So Angels Envy Rye is fantastic. Definitely poured over ice, James, if you haven't. Opens it up beautifully. And it is, I think it's better chilled. It's almost like a dessert. It is syrupy and beautiful and fantastic. It's one of my favorites, but it's like $80, $90. And it's not like, do not drink that and think that's what ryes taste like. They finished it in Caribbean rum casks, so it has a sweet, syrupy flavor and texture to it. But it's magnificent, but it's very different. Aaron Hornsby, Chance Babin. Auburn made a stronger ass offer to Jabari Smith. AJ Holland, running my fresh mobile unit in my classroom. Purchased first week of school. Believe this helped my health tremendously. Knocking on wood. There you go. That's right. AJ Holland told me he bought one, put it in his classroom. Every classroom, if you're a teacher or you work at a school, by the way, schools can apply for the ESSER funds for public schools, the EANS money for the private schools, and you can use that money for COVID mitigation. And My Clean Living, by the way, is on the state's approved vendor list. So if you're using the federal COVID mitigation dollars or the COVID relief funds for COVID mitigation, like AJ, talk to your principal. Like, let's get one of those in every classroom in the school. And it's like, use funds that the federal government has earmarked for your school specifically to buy it. So, crazy. If you need more info, let me know. Jeremy Hoskins. Realistically, with the Saints coaching staff and salary cap, what chances do we have of possibly getting a high-profile quarterback, high-quality running back to fill Kamara if he's out for half the season or longer? High-profile quarterback I don't think is going to happen, realistically. I think with Sean Payton going, the uncertainty, Pete Carmichael isn't the name that's going to draw Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think your best bet is re-sign Jameis, or you go to the draft. And I think Jameis is going to have a lot of offers, y'all. I think you'll be surprised. I think he's going to have a lot of offers. But I still think that's the best option. Clifford Moore, fuck it, it's Auburn. Hopefully they suck, but it's always good when they're good. It's fun when they're good. It's fun when LSU and Auburn are both good. Good games. Let's see, Jason. LSU men's basketball seems to be shooting the ball much better as of late, especially since Pinson returned. Well, a big part of it, Jason, is shot selection. Now, early in the game tonight, they sucked. But that issue with, all the bad threes, that was just early in SEC play, man. They really remedied that early. They've taken better shots for a while now. Seth Rushing, how often do you go to LSU games? Great question, Seth. Not often anymore. I haven't been to a football game in Tiger Stadium since 2017. When I started doing pregame and post, it was like I was on air right up until kickoff, and then we started right at the end of the game. So there was no, I would have to leave studio, fight traffic, park, get through security, get into the game, miss the whole first quarter, right? And then to get to wherever I'm going for post game, or to get to whiskey and wine, I'd have to leave at the end of the third quarter. I'd miss half the game. There's no point. So, and in baseball and basketball, it really just depends. I think we went to one basketball game this year. It's just easier to watch it on TV. Chris Hoffman, Big Baby, played in the NBA. I know. I was pointing that out. That's the point I was making. Like, it's rare, but it does happen. Travis McGraw, what's up? Tuning in from Women's Hospital. Baby girl was born this morning. Watched our first LSU game tonight. Talk about blowouts. Congrats, Travis. That's awesome, man. Congrats to you and your missus, and welcome baby girl to the world, man. That's awesome. Let's call Hudco about putting on my new construction roof. Guy said you only do roof repairs. Gave me some references. Who did you talk to, Travis? We do new construction. Anyway, thank you for calling. Thank you very much for the shout out. Appreciate it much. Todd Marr. What's up, LA up in here? All right. Yes, the Penelope. As long as it's the Penelope Louisiana, the Penelope toasted Louisiana edition, it's fantastic. Josh Bergeron, Matt, heard Money and Hilliard are the two starters this weekend. Didn't hear anything about the third starter. No, it's TBD. So it's Money, Hilliard, TBD. So they'll see how the first two games go, then make a decision on game 3. And I think the reason for that, Josh, is, they may have an eye on who they want to use. I mean, maybe they want to use Ty Floyd or Helmers or Edwards or Coleman, whatever. But it may be a circumstance where Money goes 4 innings and they say, okay, let's go Money to Coleman in a close game. And then Coleman gives you the next 4, and then you bring in Razelman to finish. I mean, so then you're not, yes, you could start Coleman Sunday. But you know what I mean? It's like, play the weekend out, see how it goes. So it's Maine. I mean, it's going to be 30 degrees, but you should slug the baseball and be okay. AJ, I'll text you tomorrow, get some info. Walker High is on the cutting edge of everything. Yeah, for sure, man. Because, because I'll tell you candidly, I mean, for Hudco, we're doing the same thing. But there are, the federal government earmarked $50 billion for COVID relief. And in schools, your district, your individual school gets money based on the number of students you have. It's a dollar amount per student in the school to be used on whatever of the approved list of, relief efforts that you want. And COVID mitigation is part of it. And I mean, My Clean Living is on the approved vendor list. So I would highly recommend anyone in a school, do this. Put My Clean Living devices in each classroom. I mean, not only just for COVID, but strep and flu and the common cold and E. coli and odor. Think about elementary schools with the boys that don't wear deodorant, they go to recess. Well, you put these things in the classroom, it neutralizes odor. Anyway, yes, everyone should have it. Yeah, Jeremy, I've seen the mock drafts having the Saints picking Corral. I've also seen some of them picking Kenny Pickett. We'll see how they're able to do, man. How they do in free agency. If they're not able to get a player in free agency, then yeah, they're likely going to have to grab a quarterback in the draft. Randall Offrecht. What's up, Matt? I found where I can bet on LSU and college baseball on the DraftKings app. Yeah, man. So I wasn't sure, but there are DraftKings is offering college baseball lines. I didn't know if they would. There aren't many sports books that have in the past until the postseason. But yeah, so the DraftKings does in fact have college baseball lines. Eric, sorry if I missed it. Any take on universal DH in the majors? I love it. Pitchers hitting is stupid. It's not 1906. We won offense in the game. It's stupid that the AL and the NL are playing 2 different games, and it's also stupid because pitching has become so specialized. There's no fucking reason to make pitchers bat and strike out 50 times in a season and hit 086. It's stupid. Pitchers hitting is stupid. Unless if your pitcher can rake, it's stupid. Kyle, did you have to put the fresh air mobile in your checked luggage? No, I had it on my carry-on. It wasn't turned on the plane, obviously, but I had it in my carry-on. I mean, it's the size of a cell phone. It's y'all seen it. I mean, like it's like this big. Delani Jones, nice bourbon. Thank you, man. Got a great collection. That's only like that. That's not even half of it. Joel Cunningham, Kentucky DC turned down LSU. OC turned down Saints. Is Kentucky football greater than Louisiana football? LSU's plus 1,200 to win the Natty in baseball. Shoot, I'd put $100 on that. Chad Samuel, what do you think about Pete Carmichael OC for the Saints? So we talked about it a little earlier, Chad. I'm good with it. I think part of the reason you hired Dennis Allen was to maintain structure, stability that you've had in place. And Pete Carmichael's been a big part of that. I mean, he has called plays. He knows Sean Payton's offense. Like, that's the thing people forget. Carmichael has called plays before. He did the whole year when Peyton was out in 2012. The offense didn't suffer at all. The defense was the worst in NFL history. So I'm fine with Carmichael as the OC. Matt, do you know what happened to Eric Gilbert, the tight end? I do. And no, he will not be back to LSU. If it's not obvious by now to everybody what happened with Eric Gilbert, I don't know. Like, I went off on a lot of fans last year that kept just throwing darts at the kid saying, like, he smoked weed, which was stupid. That's not why he left LSU. It's not why his mom drove in from Georgia to get, like, if it's not obvious to you by now what's going on with Eric Gilbert, commits to Florida, decommits, goes to Georgia before he even gets on the field. He's at, like, if it's not obvious what's going on, I mean, just really think about it for a second. Brian Fonno, a little Wild Turkey rare breed, eh? I got the Masters Keep over there. I haven't popped it open yet. Not sure when I'm going to do that. Let's see. After finishing signing day strong and potentially adding more talent through the portal, is 9 or 10 wins attainable? I think 9 wins is attainable. 10 with a bowl game. I think 9-3 is doable. I think that's a ceiling for this team. But before all the portal acquisitions, with the roster they had, I think you were looking at a 6 or 7 win football team. LSU fans don't like to hear that because it's not the standard, but like, do you realize how decimated Ed Ogeron left the roster? I mean, your 2 starting cornerbacks left. I mean, you lost 4 starters on the offensive line, which wasn't very good to begin with. Your starting quarterback left. I mean, your All-America wide receiver was going to go to Alabama if Gordon McKernan didn't step in. Like, Ed Ogeron left the thing in a smoldering pile of shit. I mean, I know for many of y'all, he's your guy and all, because he talks Cajun and all that shit, and y'all just think that I'm a hater. Like, no, I've just always called it, like, I've just always been honest. A lot of y'all don't like to hear that shit, but it's true. And a lot of y'all know it's true now. Because you see what a competent coach running a program, looks like. Jealous you haven't had for about 15 years. Anyway. Glenn Garner, first hustle came when I was supposed to leave. Second on my way to clock out. Told my boss to suck it. Put my headphones when you went live. I love it, Glenn. Respect, man. McGiblets 82. Other than Sazerac Rye, what are good ryes that won't break the bank? Great question. Bullet Rye is a good one that's very inexpensive. Pinhook makes a very good rye, also inexpensive. Bullet, Pinhook. High West. High West has a wide variety, though. The double rye is their sort of entry level $30, which is very good. Those are the ones I'd recommend. I'd actually go High West, Pinhook, Bullet. If you're looking in that like $30 or less price range. Robert McLeod, how does Gamecoin work? Great question. So Gamecoin is a cryptocurrency. If you're not familiar with crypto, it's basically a blockchain asset. I think you need to get out of your mind that the term currency. Too many people think currency. They think, well, is this like the dollar? No, they're more assets associated with blockchain technologies. So Gamecoin, the platform, will allow any athlete to have a fan token and build their NFTs. So for example, if LeBron James creates his own fan token, or let's say Derek Stingley or Walker Howard creates a fan token, you can buy Walker Howard fan tokens for whatever the market value is now. If Walker Howard continues to perform and get better, becomes first round draft pick, whatever, the value of that token increases, almost like an asset, like a card, right? Like a baseball card. And any athlete from 9 to Tom Brady could have a fan token on this platform. You could also build an NFT out on the platform, and then anytime Gamecoin is bought or sold, there's a 7% transaction fee. 2% goes back to the wallet holder. So just for holding Gamecoin, you will increase your bag of Gamecoin over time, and then 5% goes to charity, and all that money gets donated to youth sports charities. It's a fucking awesome idea, man. It's phenomenal. I mean, and every time, as a board member, every time I sit in a meeting or we're talking to investors, or we're talking to I don't know if I could say, but other entities, they're blown away when they hear it, because everyone's like, fuck, that's a great idea, and there's nothing really like it. There's a lot of platforms that do NFTs. I mean, a lot of people are doing the NFT craze right now, but the way Gamecoin is sort of interwoven everything is pretty magnificent. It's well funded. The platform's going to be beautiful. There's nobody else really doing it. And by the time it goes live within this year, we'll start onboarding athletes, and it's going to boom. It's going to be awesome. I'm fired up for it. It's going to change. I'll maintain this. It is going to change the face of Baton Rouge. The fact that Gamecoin is here and there's as many people here invested in it as are. I've commonly said that I think Gamecoin for Baton Rouge is going to be like Michael Dell building computers in his dorm room at Texas, and what that meant for Austin. Let's see. Brother J, Redwood Empire, Lost Monarch. All right, Michael Daigle, what's up? I tell you what, Michael, you're right. So Redemption's rye, though, is the Redemption High Rye. I don't know if Calandro's has any more, but Calandro's did a Redemption High Rye barrel pick, which was awesome. I don't know if they have it anymore. I don't know if I can get it to mine. Hang on. Shit. Yeah, that's good. No, I can't get to it. Anyway. Anybody need a big ass desk? This is a giant desk. And it takes up my whole office, and so I got a new like table desk, and it's put together and it's sitting right there. But I need to get rid of this desk. I was gonna put it on like Facebook Marketplace for like $200. The desk and the old chair, not my new chair, but the old chair. Anybody need a desk? If you're a Scone fan, I'll do it for $150. But you got to come pick it up. You have to have a truck and come pick it up. Big desk, big drawers, beautiful desk, just huge. I don't need this big desk anymore. Takes up a lot of space. Handy and Schiller barrel cocktails, Manhattan. I don't really like the barrel. I don't like the cocktails in a bottle. Riley Ortega, that's my shit. All right. Brian Fontenot, Old Forester 1920. Those are good. No Saint, I hate obvious. I am never good at obvious. What's obvious? Sorry if I screwed that up. Whistle Pig, right? So Riley, yes, Whistle Pig's fantastic, but he was talking about like things that won't break the bank. So he was talking about like a lower price point. I mean, if you want to spend more, buy the Whistle Pig 10-year. It's $80 and it's magnificent. It's awesome. But it's $80. Joey B, is Coach O one of the worst head coaches to win a national championship? Yeah, I mean, he is in the trio of Larry Coker, Gene Chizik. I mean, it's Larry Coker, Gene Chizik, Ed Ogeron. I mean, get used to that. That is going to be a forever thing. Ed Ogeron will forever be linked with those two men as awful head coaches that won championships. You know, having little, if anything at all, to do with their competency. Tommy Poole, what's up, man? Who dat dude? My wife got a new bottle for Valentine's called Orphan Barrel. Ooh, Copper Tongue 16. So, who dat dude? Orphan Barrel, if you don't know the story. So, very quickly, an orphan barrel is when a distillery, they distill whiskey, they put it in their barrels to age it, but the distillery, the business shuts down before the juice matures. So what happens is you have these barrels of whiskey that are still aging. Well, this company, Orphan Barrel, will go and buy these barrels, finish aging them, and then bottle them as something else. I have a lot of Orphan Barrel stuff. The best one I think Orphan Barrel has done is Rhetoric and Blood Oath are the best. But I have a lot. I got a lot of the Rhetorics. I've got Forged Oak. Got Entrapment. I got a bunch. Anyway, so to answer your question, I've not had Copper Tongue 16, but I'm fascinated. 16-year whiskey sounds awesome, but I haven't had it. I'll trade you a sample of something if you don't mind. Jerry, you want any of us near your house? Jerry, you can come to my house. Jerry, if you want the desk, I know you, Jerry. I've spoken with you before. You can come to my house, Jerry. Now, Glenn, poor Glenn. Maybe not. Let's see, Glenn, 49er fan is here. I asked about the picture last week. Now I want to know when you wipe your ass with the jersey. Whenever I take the picture. Let's see. Samuel Smith. Top cheap and solid whiskeys for beginners. So Samuel, I have three that I always, if you've never had whiskey before and you want to try sipping whiskey, I always mention three that are all under $30 and that are very different. That'll get you sort of to know what your palate is. Okay. Elijah Craig Small Batch, $27. A good bold bourbon. If you want to spend the money, Four Roses Single Barrel is magnificent, but that's going to run closer to $45. But I've never had anyone not like Four Roses Single Barrel. And then I would tell you Basil Hayden, not the dark rye, not the just straight old the Basil Hayden bourbon. Again, another one that's right at $30, much lower proof. Not as big and bold, more palatable for a lot of people. Those are the three. Now, I would say, asterisk, if you want to try a rye, throw in Sazerac. Sazerac rye is, depending on, you can find it someplace from $19.99. It is magnificent. It's 90 proof. You will get all of the characteristics of rye. It is spicy, it is bold, it is flavorful. At 90 proof, it's not going to like burn your soul. It's great to drink neat on the rocks or mix in a cocktail. Like, it is super versatile. I mean, I endorse it because I love it. Y'all know I talk as much whiskey as I have. You think I would endorse something if it was shit? No way. So that's what I would mention. I work with Jerry. You don't want that guy at your house. Well, Jerry let our Hudco cruise at his house, so it's a good trade-off. Tommy Pool Bananas Foster King Cake was on point. Let's see. Wait, what's the pricey bottle with mixed reviews? Oh, the Orphan Barrel. I haven't had it. I had a lot of Orphan Barrel. I haven't had that one. Oh, the tight end, obvious. Still don't get it, right? You still don't get what's up with Eric Gilbert? I'm stunned that there are that many people that still don't understand what's happening with Eric Gilbert. Dylan Hess, Aaron Hornsby, time for the new chair, Matt. I got a new chair here. I need a new chair, guaranteed. JM Cigar Blend. AJ, what section of the website is the new DApp located? It's on, go to Buy Gamecoin. If you go to thegamecoin.net, and on the homepage it says Buy Gamecoin. Here, I'll link it right here. It says Buy Gamecoin, and when you go to Buy Gamecoin, it takes you to the swap, to the DApp. Here, I'll link it. Boom. Mark Satanovich, the Zion second star. I saw today Zion said he might be back after the All-Star game. Michael Sutherland and Scone will Texas and Oklahoma join the SEC this year. I don't think so. No, I don't, Michael. I think that was the plan, and the Big 12 fought back, and good for them for doing so. I mean, not that I'm not happy about it, but good for them, right? Glenn is probably at your house. You just don't know it. Raymond, Matt, what's your hipster bottle, the bourbon you found and liked before it became popular? Oh, that's a good, well. That's the most obvious one, right? Can't find this anymore. Glenn Garner, those 3 bottles range between 40 and 65 in Georgia. Are you serious? Jesus. Clay, I mean, you can get a Logic Crack small batch anywhere here for $25, $27. It's crazy. Clayton Mitchell, Matt, where do you think Devin Fontenot figures in the pitching rotation? I mean, I think he wants to be a shot to be a starter, but I think Raiselman, Fontenot, Raiselman, 8, 9, however they want to go it, set up closer, I think would be awesome. No Saint. Someone has finally gotten it right. Someone has finally gotten it right. Do you think Eric Gilbert would have been admitted to the hospital for grades? No Saint? No. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because I've dealt with it with family in the past. But Ed Ogeron did that kid so wrong, y'all. When he went to his coach's show and said Eric Gilbert, he's opting out because his body hurts, did that kid so wrong. And everybody shat on him, dogpile. And I know what Ed was doing. Ed was trying to protect him. But it was the COVID year. He could have said fucking anything. He could have said he has COVID. He could have said he has COVID. And it'd have been fine. But his body hurts. You think someone's mom is going to drive in from Georgia because their kid's body hurts? A football player? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway. Indiana Tiger. Sorry if you answered already. When will the Gamecoin platform launch? Great question, Indiana Tiger. Progress every day, and it's going to happen in stages. So, like, the D app was the first part of it. The NFT portion is coming. The fan token will come. Like, fully 100% operational, like, all systems go before 2023. By the end of Q4 of 2022, it'll be 100% all systems go. But there will be parts launched before. Favorite bang for the buck is Widow Jane Lucky 13. Widow Jane Lucky 13 is not cheap, and I don't like it. I have a bottle sitting right over there, and I don't like it. I'll trade you something if you want to. Brandon, hey Matt, glad to see you and Eric had a great anniversary getaway. Missed AFR and the daily, but liked Ask E-Rock even more. Brandon, you became a favorite. You became an E-Rock favorite. Glenn Garner hung up on small bat 1792. It's about $45. 1792 makes really good juice. I just don't like their foolproof, but I don't like foolproof whiskeys generally. And let's see, any more over here? I think we're done, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging out so much, man. As always, shout out to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Got Hudco pinned. Y'all do me a favor, man. If there's one thing you could do, it's 140 still watching on YouTube, 41 watching on Facebook, 100 and 137 now. So 177 watching right now total. Somebody in this 177 either needs a roof, knows someone who needs a roof inspection. If y'all would hit up HudcoRoofing.com, fill out that contact form, that'd be huge. commercial, residential, roof repairs, roof replacements. We do gutters now as well and soft wash. We partner with Bayou State Soft Wash, so we can soft wash your roof and your entire home as well. HUDCOroofing.com. Would love that. As always, Gamecoin, thegamecoin.net. Do your research. Great time to buy, y'all. I mean, the price is so low right now; it's unbelievable. But it's just buy the dip, right? It's an insane time to buy right now. If you bought before, buy again. Cost average down. Makes a lot of sense. If you bought at a penny and now it's at a tenth of a penny, put in less money, you'll double your bag. You double from a tenth of a penny to 2/10 of a penny. You make back that money. So really consider that. Consider your options. MyCleanLiving.net, of course. My girl Krista Poche over at Restored Motions. Y'all check her out. All right. YouTube, on the way out, do me a favor, smash that like button. Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all. Have an awesome night. I'll see you in the morning for Morning Scone. Peace.